Look, if you're still cold calling and door knocking in 2026, you're not competing with other agents anymore. You're competing with a machine that never sleeps, never eats, and just closed 3 deals while you were stuck in traffic on the Gardiner. By the end of this year, half of Toronto's realtors will be out of business. Not because the market crashed, but because they refused to evolve. This is the story of the 2026 shift. And if you're not on the right side of it, you're already obsolete. Okay, let's talk about what's actually happening in Toronto right now. 2026 isn't just another tough year. It's a complete market reset. Here's the reality. Over 40% of Toronto homeowners are facing mortgage renewals this year. And they're not renewing at 2.5%. They're looking at 5%, 6%, even 7% rates. That's an extra $1,500 to $2,000 per month for the average detached home in Etobicoke or North York. But here's where it gets brutal for traditional agents. Pre-construction sales in the GTA, they hit a record low in Q4 2025. We're talking a 60% drop from 2021 levels. The buyers who are left, they're sophisticated, they're terrified, and they have zero patience for an agent who can't give them data-driven answers in real time. So what does the struggling agent do? They double down on the grind. More cold calls, more door knocks, more just checking in texts that get ignored. But here's the problem. In a high interest rate environment, the old hustle doesn't work. Because the buyer doesn't need you to find them a house. They need you to tell them if buying that $1.2 million semi in Leslieville is financial suicide, or the best decision they'll ever make. And if you can't answer that question with precision, there's an AI that can. Alright, let's rewind to 2015 for a second. Back then, realtors controlled information. You wanted to know what sold on your street? You called an agent. But then Realtor.ca happened. Howza Sigma happened. And suddenly every buyer had the same data you did. So agents pivoted. They became advisors. They offered local expertise. But in 2026, even that's not enough. Because we've moved from the information access era to the information synthesis era. What does that mean? It means buyers don't need you to tell them a house just sold for $950K. They can see that themselves. They need you to tell them why it sold for $950K when the comparable 3 streets over went for $1.1 million. They need you to predict what happens to property values near Eglinton and Laird when the Ontario line finally opens in 2027. They need micro-market analysis, school zone shift tracking, construction impact forecasting. And here's the kicker. The human brain? It can't process that much data fast enough. But AI can. In 2026, the winning agents aren't the ones who work the hardest. They're the ones who deploy the smartest algorithms. Let me show you exactly how they're doing it. First up, the lead gen bot. Platforms like Realty AI and Lofty have created something, honestly, it's incredible. A virtual assistant that qualifies leads 24/7 while you sleep. Here's how it works. Someone fills out a form on your website at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Traditionally, you'd follow up the next morning. Maybe. But by then, they've already talked to 3 other agents. The lead gen bot responds in 90 seconds, via text, via voice, whatever the lead prefers. Hi Sarah, I saw you're interested in condos near Queen West. What's your must-have feature? Parking, a den, rooftop terrace? It asks qualifying questions. Budget, timeline, mortgage pre-approval status. And by the time you wake up, you've got a fully qualified lead ready to book a showing. Or you've got a time waster automatically filtered out. The top 10% of Toronto agents, they're closing 30% more deals with the same effort. Why? Because they're not wasting time on unqualified leads. The bottom 50%, they're still playing phone tag. Next, the content clone. Tools like HeyGen and Real Estate Clone 360 have made something crazy possible. You can now clone yourself, not metaphorically, literally. Record 30 minutes of yourself talking. Upload it. And the AI creates a digital twin that can produce unlimited property tour videos. In your voice, with your face, with your mannerisms. Here's the math that's killing traditional agents. A human agent can realistically film, 3 to 4 quality property tours per week? That's driving to the property, setting up, recording, editing, uploading. The AI clone, it produces 30 tours per week. From your home office, you feed it the listing photos and property details. It generates a complete walkthrough video with your cloned voice describing every feature. As you can see, this kitchen has been completely renovated with quartz countertops and stainless steel appliances. Perfect for the family that loves to entertain. The client watching on their phone at 2 a.m., they have no idea they're watching an AI. And you? You're scaling content production 10x without burning out. The agents who refuse to adopt this, they're spending 40 hours a week creating 4 videos, while their competitors create 40 videos in 4 hours. Finally, the data analyst. This is where the separation really happens. Platforms like MSL data analyzers take raw tree data and transform it into actionable intelligence. Every day, thousands of transactions happen across the GTA. Sales, listings, price changes, days on market. A human agent can maybe track their own neighborhood. Maybe. The AI, it tracks everything. Every postal code, every property type, every micro trend. Then it generates instant reports. Based on current inventory levels and absorption rates, properties in M4M are expected to appreciate 3.2% over the next 6 months. However, properties backing onto the future Ontario Line construction zone show a temporary 7% discount that will likely reverse by Q2 2027. Should I buy now or wait? Well, it's a personal decision. Here's a focused breakdown. 2019 transit construction comps, projected rental income if you buy and hold, and 3 clear scenarios based on interest rate changes, summarized on 1 page. So, let's bring this home. The bottom 50% of Toronto realtors aren't losing to a bad market. They're not losing to rising interest rates. They're not even losing to other agents. They're losing to the machine. Because while they're knocking on doors in Scarborough, there's an AI bot qualifying 50 leads. While they're editing their 3rd property video of the month, there's an AI clone producing 30. While they're guessing about market trends, there's an AI analyst generating data-driven reports in real time. Here's what you need to understand. This isn't coming. It's already here. The agents who are thriving right now, they made the shift 6 months ago. They're not working harder. They're working smarter. They've automated the grind. They've scaled their content. They've weaponized data. And if you're watching this thinking, I need to catch up, you're right. But here's the good news. You're not too late. Yet. I've put together the 2026 Real Estate Automation Kit in the description below. It's a complete breakdown of every tool I mentioned. Setup guides, cost comparisons, real ROI data from Toronto agents already using this stuff. Because here's the reality. In 12 months, this won't be a competitive advantage. It'll be the bare minimum to survive. The question is, are you going to be in the top 50% that adapted, or the bottom 50% that didn't? The door knocker era is over. The AI agent era has begun. Choose wisely.